Kevin AC just tweeted, by the way, Luis Arraez just walked into the Padres clubhouse. So it seems like, I mean, that's a great update. If he's walking, because he was carted off. He's walking, and if they're allowing him to just go right back into the Padres clubhouse, then it seems like things would be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses, tomorrow's game against Detroit, just to give him a day, obviously. But that is a great update. Just that Luis Arraez is walking into the Padres clubhouse. That's great news. Because that was scary. I was listening to it because I was working. I was listening to it on the radio, and you could hear a pin drop in that stadium. How quiet it was. And initially, when Jesse and Tony were talking about it, I thought, okay, maybe the wind got knocked out of him and he'll get up. And then they just kept saying how he's still laying back on the grass. He's not getting up. And the cart comes out. The Astros trainers, did a good job when I went back and watched of getting out there pretty quick. And then the two Padres trainers got out there. That was just scary. And to be very clear, because I think some people may be, shocker, misunderstanding what I've been saying on social media. In no way do I think that Mauricio Dubon tried to injure Luis Arraez. In no way am I trying to say that Mauricio Dubon is a dirty player or this was a dirty play. No way am I saying that. So I want to make that very clear right off the bat. But what I will say is Mauricio Dubon, this could have been avoidable. That's my point. Again, not a dirty play, but it could have been avoidable. Because if you go back and watch that play, Dubon is running over there as if he's the guy that's running to first base as the base runner, just running through the bag. And then obviously he realizes that he's got to stop a little bit. And then he got himself into a situation where he couldn't stop because of the momentum and how fast he was running over there to first base. And he put himself right in harm's way. It actually was in Arraez's harm's way, if that makes sense, because he's the guy that's running full speed to first base. And Dubon was, running the side a little bit, if that makes sense, the angle. But if you go back and watch that, sure, you can run to the bag and run hard, but you got to slow down mentally. And you got to take it as if you're a pitcher that's running for base. I know it's a different angle. I understand that. But he needed to have a better awareness of where he was at first base. Did Dubon mean to do this? Of course not. This is not me trying to bash Dubon as this dirty player. He's not. I'm not saying he is. But I think that could have been avoidable. And I'll go back and watch the play again here. You can go watch it. I have it up on my Twitter. But it's just there's a screenshot of Dubon as Arraez is running in there. He's getting to first base. Dubon's left foot is in the middle of the bag. And I think that could have been avoidable. He runs over there, and he's not looking at Arraez. To be fair to Dubon, he's not looking at Arraez. He's running to first and looking at the pitcher. I'm just rewatching it here. Bunt. First baseman grabs it, throws it over there, flips it over there to the first. Dubon is looking, sorry, not at the pitcher, my bad, that direction. Christian Walker was at first base, and he gets it. Now, the throw bat. I mean, Walker's toss was to first base. It's not like it was terrible. But Dubon, he could have. Now, how many times do you practice this, right? Not a whole lot, probably, I'd imagine. But I think he could have slowed himself down. Does that cost the Astros an out there? And maybe you don't get Arraez? But when I freeze it, I know you can't see that I'm freezing it right now. But when I freeze this, Arraez and Dubon catches this ball and he's midair and about to be in the middle of the bag. Arraez is still another couple steps from the bag. And then boom, he can't go anywhere. He's running full speed. And Dubon just flies in the way. So I do think it could have been avoidable. there are people again on social media that are saying momentum. Have you ever heard of momentum and all that? I guess you're just not understanding my point. Is I think Dubon could have slowed down and caught that ball more like a first baseman or like a pitcher when they're running over to first base to catch the ball. And then you quickly touch the base and you remove your foot as quick as possible. Not jump into the first base lane, have your foot be in the middle of the bag, and the runner going to first base can't do anything. And he's totally defenseless as he's running full speed. That's all I'm saying. Scary, freak accident. Not saying Dubon, you're a dirty player. Totally not saying that. He probably feels terrible about this, but I just think it could have been avoided. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully, Astros fans, you understand that. I know Dubon's not listening, but hopefully he understands that. Padres fans, I don't think we're mad at him. I don't want to speak for all Padres fans. I'm not mad at Dubon, like the person. I'm just frustrated that like that play, I think it could have ended in a different way. But the good thing is Luis Arraez, he is in the Padres clubhouse, according to Kevin Acee, and it seems like things are trending in the right direction there. So that's the update there. But it was man, it was scary. Watching that, I was getting texts obviously from, people that know that I'm a huge Padres fan. And yeah, that was scary. The update from the Padres, by the way, which was during the game, Luis Arraez has been transported to Houston Methodist Hospital for further evaluation. He's currently stable, conscious, responsive, and able to move his extremities. So there I was like, all right, yeah, that's a great update. And again, just another great update for him to be walking into the Padres clubhouse like that, pretty much right after the game. That's a great sign. So hopefully we can move on here and Arraez. Nothing is like he doesn't have a fracture of something. And it was one of those where it was just the moment, probably got the wind knocked out of him, one. And maybe, something is hurt. But it seems like if he can walk, then, what we care about there when you're you're carted off like that is the human being. So who knows about injuries, injury wise, but for him to be walking into the clubhouse, that makes me happy as a Padres, not as a Padres fan, even just as a guy that wants the human being to be well. I think that's an encouraging update.